Hey everyone, it's Alfred here today, and today I'd like to do a really short post on just how you can essentially grow your wealth by using others people after-tax dollars. And I thought it would be kind of best to explain this just with an example, because I think an example would be actually easier to kind of illustrate this. So I would say, the best example of how you can use someone else's after-tax money to help grow your net worth is I guess the example I kind of use with all my clients. This kind of also illustrates kind of the importance of knowing your taxes, which I kind of mentioned earlier too this month. So I'd like to turn to my favorite area in investing, which is real estate. And like I said, this can apply to any area. I just thought that real estate is a little bit easier to kind of illustrate this example. So ideally, it would be best to obtain a real estate investment with no money down, basically, to maximize your return leverage. Like I said, it doesn't have to be real estate. It could be kind of any investment. If not, of course, the next best thing would be to put as little as down payment as possible, or as less of your own money into the investment. And now here kind of comes the fun part. So let's just say, just as ease of illustration, you bought a piece of property for $100,000. So now all you would have to do essentially is to find a renter so they can use their own after-tax dollars to pay for your mortgage payments. Like I said, I'm just ignoring market values and all this. So let's just say worst case scenario, and this is what a lot of people I would say don't do. They kind of think a lot short term, which is fine too. But that's more applicable, I would say, for like flippers. But that's like a completely different subject altogether, which I'll get into. But I was just at the general picture. You always just think of the large, I guess, big picture as a whole. So like I said, worst case scenario, you would have a free property after the mortgage is paid off, and it continues to increase also in cash flow as time goes on, because as time goes on, inflation goes on. So essentially, you can always ask for like a rate increase to your to the rent, and like I said, over time, the mortgage will eventually get paid off, and this is with your tenant's money, not yours. So even if, let's say the property even remained in the same value you bought it at the very beginning, which is very highly unlikely, let's just say it still remains at $100,000. This means after whatever term it happens to be, 5, 10, 25 years, whatever it happens to be, afterwards, worst case worst, you get your mortgage paid off, and you could just sell it for $100,000. And of course, this is assuming you have to rent it the whole time, there's no expenses. Of course, sometimes there will be expenses here and there, or you have to cover the own rent. But like this is assuming perfect scenario, right? So generally speaking, though I would say worst case scenario, usually properties do double in value over their term after the mortgage term is over. Just generally speaking, or at least even triple. But like I said, this is the best of the worst case scenario. At the end of the term, your mortgage is paid off. Even if the property value remains the same, you now get the passive cash flow every month now, and if you like, you could essentially sell the property for the $100,000. Now, of course, like I said, this example is like the best case scenario. So let's say instead you had to put even $20,000 of your own money. So in this case, yes, that $20,000 it has to be your own money that you have to come up. So this is also your after tax dollars. But I mean, there's ways around it too. But like I said, I don't want to get into that yet right now. So let's just say, just an easy example, you put down $20,000, which would be 20%. And this is still fine in the long run, because you also gotta factor in now the leverage now, because you put in $20,000 to buy a $100,000 property. So essentially it's a 1-to-5 ratio, which is pretty good, right? And this means the return will be amplified. So if let's say the property even goes up 5%, that's 5% on that $100,000, not the $20,000 that you invested in. So that's pretty good if you ask me. So like I said, this is means also that on paper essentially you've made $5,000 based on that $100,000 on that 5%, which also mean now based on that $20,000 investment that you put in, you've just made 25% return. So as you see, leverage is awesome when it goes in your favor. But With that being said, of course, when it goes against you, that losses are amplified too. So it's a double-edged sword, and like I said, I've actually did a post on this too. Now, while I would say generally speaking, pretty biased on real estate just because, I do a lot in that. The one thing I always love about real estate, and it actually doesn't have to be in real estate, just a lot of times in even investing in general, is that the leverage and the mortgage itself is just secured on the property itself. So that's what I love about it, is actually secured against it. So it gives you actually a lot of options. And like I said, I'll actually probably do like a post on this in regards to the different vehicles you have. But like I said, I don't want to get into that too much just because it's like quite a big topic. As always, everyone, definitely please feel free to, comment below and give any examples that you have or any advice on, your favorite tax examples. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye-bye now.